All right, let's dive into something super important for anyone running a solar or battery system. We're talking about surge ratings versus what your inverter can actually do, and, what the manufacturers might not be telling you.
So let me just kick things off with a question for you. Did you know that the huge surge rating that's plastered all over the box your inverter came in might not be the safety net you think it is? Yeah, it's a super common trap to fall into, and today we're going to break down exactly what's going on.
First up, we've got to talk about the promise itself. Those big, flashing numbers printed right there on the packaging. They're designed to look good, but what's behind them?
You know that massive number you see, the one that's often double, maybe even triple the inverter's main power rating? That's the surge rating. And it's there to catch your eye, to promise you this incredible burst of peak power. But what does that number really mean when the rubber hits the road? To really get your head around this, we need to compare two totally different kinds of power. And honestly, the best way to think about it is with a simple analogy. You've got a sprinter and you've got a marathon runner. And this lays it out perfectly. Surge power? That's your sprinter. It's an all-out, explosive burst of energy that's over in a flash. Its one and only job is to kickstart a heavy motor or a big appliance. But continuous power? Well, that's your marathon runner. It's all about that steady, reliable, long-term endurance that can keep your system powered up all day long.
So, to get a bit more specific, the surge rating is the absolute max power an inverter can possibly push out for an incredibly short time. And we are talking milliseconds here, just to get something like a water pump or a fridge compressor moving.
And that brings us to, honestly, the most important number on that spec sheet, the continuous rating. This is the power your inverter can safely supply hour after hour without breaking a sweat or, overheating and failing. This is the real MVP of your system. It's the number you should be building your entire setup around.
Okay, so you might be thinking, hey, if it's rated for a certain surge, I can use it, right? It should be fine. Well, not so fast. Let's pull back the curtain on the hidden stress test that happens inside your inverter every single time you push that limit. This really gets to the heart of the matter for keeping your gear alive. What's the real danger here? What actually happens when you keep hitting your inverter with these big power demands over and over, even if you're technically within the limit?
The answer in just 2 words is thermal stress. Every single time your inverter has to surge, it creates this sudden, intense spike of heat deep inside its electronics. It's like giving it a tiny little fever over and over again.
And this heat, it's basically a poison for the guts of your inverter. We're talking about the really critical stuff. The MOSFETs, those are the super fast electronic switches, the big transformers, and the capacitors. These are the parts doing all the heavy lifting, and they take the hit from that thermal shock again and again.
Now, this isn't just some vague idea. It's straight up physics. And look, I'm not going to throw a bunch of complex equations at you, but this little formula here shows the basic relationship. The change in temperature is tied to the current squared, the resistance, and time. Don't worry about the math, just focus on what it means. So what's the simple takeaway from all that sciencey stuff? Well, more current means way more heat. It's exponential, and the longer that surge lasts, the more heat builds up. But the biggest takeaway here, the one I really want you to remember, is this. A high surge rating absolutely does not mean it's safe to do it repeatedly. All that heat builds up, and over time, it will cause things to fail.
Okay, so knowing all that is a bit scary, right? But the good news is there are things you can do about it. So let's get practical and turn all this theory into a super simple 5-step safety plan to protect your gear.
But first, just to really hammer this home, look at this number, 125 amps. That's the current a 3,000-watt surge pulls from a standard 24-volt battery bank. That is a fire hose of current, and your entire system, every wire, every connection, every fuse, has to be ready to handle that spike safely.
Okay, here's your action plan. 1. Know your numbers. Go find the official continuous and surge ratings for your specific inverter. 2. Do a little math. Calculate what that surge current actually is for your system's voltage. 3, and this is so important, check your wires and fuses. Make sure they are sized for that massive peak current, not just the everyday continuous load. That's where a lot of systems fail. 4, if you have to test a big appliance, do it safely and keep an eye on things. And finally, number 5, plan realistically. Plan your whole system around the marathon runner, not the sprinter.
And look, I have to say this, and I can't say it enough. Safety is everything. Wear your protective gear. Make sure your inverter has plenty of space to breathe and get rid of all that heat we talked about. And remember, we're dealing with high-powered electricity here. If you're ever
ever unsure about anything, please call a professional.
So after all of this, what's the one thing you really need to walk away with? What's the ultimate takeaway? It's really simple. Plan for the marathon.
Because at the end of the day, your most powerful tool isn't the biggest inverter or the fanciest batteries. It's knowledge. Understanding the real-world limits of your equipment is your absolute best defense against failure and, frankly, against some pretty dangerous situations.
So I'll leave you with this. I want you to go look at your own setup, think about your own plans, and just ask yourself this one simple question. Is my system really built for the long haul, for the marathon, or is it just designed for the sprint?